Hey everyone, welcome in. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling tech leadership in this crazy new world of innovation. And get this, we've got some really cool articles and research all about how individuals are using AI and, getting scrappy, bootstrapping their way to shake things up.
Yeah, it's really interesting what we're seeing. This whole rise of the one-person tech powerhouse. People building, running entire businesses totally solo, and they're using AI tools to do what used to take like a whole team.
It's pretty mind-blowing, right? I was reading one article about AI-driven workforce solutions. Sounds super futuristic. Like they can run marketing campaigns, do customer service, even handle those super complex financial tasks. It's kind of crazy how much one person can do now.
It is. It's all about making entrepreneurship accessible, right?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need tons of funding up front or a massive team anymore. AI is changing the game, lets individuals bypass those traditional barriers and just get their ideas out there.
Yeah, like everyone's the CEO of their own little empire now.
Which actually makes me wonder, can AI actually help you build those core leadership skills? Things like communication, decision-making, even inspiring others, even if your team is basically a bunch of AI bots.
That's a question a lot of researchers are looking into right now. There are already AI platforms for leadership coaching. They're being used in big tech companies. They analyze how you communicate, give you personalized feedback, even suggest strategies to improve. The interesting thing is, this tech could totally be used on an individual level. So like solopreneurs could have this AI leadership coach.
Whoa, that'd be game-changing. Imagine that, constant feedback and guidance as you're building your business, like having a mentor in your pocket 24/7.
Exactly. And it's not even just the practical skills, AI could help people develop self-awareness, emotional intelligence. Those are critical for leadership. It's wild how AI can actually help develop the human side of leadership. But okay, there's another side to all this tech-driven entrepreneur stuff we got to talk about. We have this article focusing on rural workers, how they're getting less behind in the tech race. Paints a pretty bleak picture of the digital divide.
Yeah, the stats are pretty alarming. Rural workers face way more barriers, when it comes to tech access, digital literacy. We're talking triple the tech barriers and double the broadband problems compared to, well, anyone in a city. This digital divide, it's a big challenge to this idea of everyone having entrepreneurial opportunity.
And it's not even just about fairness, right? It's all this untapped potential. Think of the incredible ideas, the talent that's being wasted because people just can't get the resources they need. It hurts everyone in the end.
For sure. The sources we have, they point to some possible solutions like rural tech access platforms and more remote work opportunities. But honestly, to bridge this gap, it's going to take a real effort from leaders in tech, a commitment to inclusivity, recognizing that innovation, it can happen anywhere if people have a chance.
It's a good reminder that leadership isn't just about making a successful business. It's about making a future where everyone has a chance to succeed, to thrive.
Exactly. And speaking of building successful businesses, we can't forget about fintech and all of this. It's playing a huge role.
Fintech, oh yeah, it's everywhere these days. How are these solopreneurs actually using these tools, especially when they're bootstrapping?
Fintech is huge for them, especially if they're bootstrapping. Think about it, having access to AI-driven financial services, things that can automate your accounting, bookkeeping, even invoice processing and expense tracking.
So like a virtual CFO without the crazy salary.
Pretty much. Yeah, and not only that, these AI tools, they can give solopreneurs some really valuable insight into how their business is doing. Help them make smarter decisions about budgeting, pricing, even investing. Like having a data-driven financial advisor right there in your pocket. I'm really starting to see how this all fits together. The AI, the bootstrapping, this whole solopreneur movement, it's all about doing more with less, maximizing efficiency and impact with limited resources. But hold on a sec, we can't forget about security. With everyone relying on technology so much, especially with finance, cybersecurity has got to be a huge concern for these one-person businesses.
Oh, absolutely. One of our sources actually highlights these new EU cybersecurity rules, and it just emphasizes how crucial cybersecurity is for any business, really, but especially for solopreneurs. Like a single breach could wipe them out.
Yeah, because when it's just you're responsible for everything, right? You're the IT department, the security chief, the whole shebang. That's a lot of pressure.
It is. It really is. But the good news is there's some really cool AI-powered cybersecurity solutions out there that can help. They can detect threats, prevent breaches in real time. It's like an extra layer of protection that solopreneurs can really benefit from. So AI is kind of like the enabler and the protector in this new world of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Like a double-edged sword, right? capable of so much good, but you got to be smart about the risks too.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the human element, which is arguably the most important thing in all of this. We've talked about AI bootstrapping the digital divide and all that, but at the end of the day, it's human leadership that really drives innovation and determines whether someone succeeds or not.
I'm really curious to dig into this more. What does leadership even look like in this world of one-person businesses? It's not like you have a traditional team to manage.
It's a different kind of leadership, for sure. It takes a lot of self-awareness, self-motivation, resilience. Basically, you're leading yourself, setting your own goals, holding yourself accountable, and always pushing yourself to learn and grow.
That sounds intense. Like you need to be your own cheerleader, coach, and critic all at once.
You got it. And while you might not have a team in the traditional sense, it doesn't mean you're working in a vacuum.
Yeah.
One of the most important things for solopreneurs is building a strong network.
So it's about creating your own virtual team, collaborators, mentors, advisors. You're still connecting with people, finding people who can help you on your journey.
Exactly. And those connections are so valuable. They bring fresh ideas, new perspectives, even open doors to opportunities. It's like building a community around your business, even if you're flying solo.
It's amazing how the lines are getting blurred between solopreneurship and collaboration.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this hybrid model. You're leading yourself, but you're also part of a larger ecosystem.
You said it. And a big part of making that hybrid model work is communication. Solopreneurs need to be masters of clear, concise, and compelling communication.
Makes sense. When you're pitching investors, networking with potential partners, or even just talking to customers online, being a good communicator is key.
Absolutely. It's not just about getting information across. It's about building trust, establishing credibility, and making real connections.
So it's like those soft skills we always hear about: communication, empathy, active listening. They're becoming even more important in this tech-driven world.
Couldn't agree more. And one area where those skills really matter is building a strong remote work culture.
Now that's interesting. How do you even build a culture when your team is just you?
It's all about setting clear expectations, having boundaries, and creating routines that help you feel connected to your work and what you're trying to do.
So even if you're working solo, you're still creating a work environment, right? An ethos, a way of being that reflects your values and your vision.
Exactly. And those values will impact everything from how you talk to clients, to how you manage your time, to how you handle challenges and setbacks.
It's like your leadership philosophy becomes the foundation of your entire business. But let's be real, working solo, even with all the AI help and everything, can get lonely. How do solopreneurs deal with that isolation and stay motivated?
That's a struggle for a lot of solopreneurs. One strategy is to actively create opportunities for social interaction.
So joining online communities, going to industry events, even just scheduling regular coffee chats with other entrepreneurs.
Yep. It's about going out and finding those human connections. And it's also about prioritizing self-care. Solopreneurs have to be careful about burnout and take care of themselves physically, mentally, and emotionally.
You can't pour from an empty cup, as they say.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself to be a good leader.
Yeah.
Even if you're just leading yourself.
Exactly. Self-care can be anything from exercise and eating well to meditation or just spending time in nature. It's about figuring out what works for you and actually making it a priority.
It's a good reminder that even in this fast-paced, tech-driven world of entrepreneurship, the human element is still the most important. We have to take care of ourselves, our relationships, and our sense of purpose to really thrive.
Well said. And I think that leads us perfectly into the last part of our deep dive, where we'll look at the future of one-person businesses and all the exciting possibilities ahead.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive. And wow, it's been quite a journey, exploring this whole world of one-person tech businesses. We've covered AI, bootstrapping, those essential leadership skills, and staying connected. But as we look ahead, what are some of the hurdles these solo tech pioneers might face?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is staying ahead of the curve. Technology is constantly evolving, it's moving so fast. And for solopreneurs, it's this constant race to keep up with the latest trends, tools, all those innovations.
Yeah, you basically have to be a lifelong learner, right? Constantly adapting, upgrading your skills can be a bit overwhelming, don't you think?
It definitely takes a commitment to learning, no doubt. Solopreneurs need to be proactive, seeking out knowledge, experimenting with new tools, and really staying connected to what's happening in the industry, whether that's through online courses, webinars, even just carving out time to learn on their own. Staying curious, that's key.
So it's not enough to just master one skill, one platform. You've got to constantly evolve your whole skill set to stay relevant, stay competitive.
Exactly. And besides keeping up with all the tech, there's also the challenge of managing time and resources effectively. When it's just you, it's so easy to get bogged down in those day-to-day tasks and lose sight of the big picture.
It's like that saying, working in your business versus working on your business. How do solopreneurs find that balance when they're wearing so many hats?
It takes a strategic mindset and a lot of discipline when it comes to time management. Solopreneurs have to be really intentional, setting priorities, delegating when they can, and making sure they have dedicated time for planning and developing their business.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
But what about the financial side of things? Bootstrapping is a great way to start, but you might need outside funding at some point. How do these one-person businesses navigate that process? It seems like investors have traditionally favored those bigger companies with established teams.
That's a great point. And yeah, getting funding can be a bigger hurdle for solopreneurs. Venture capitalists, historically, they've been hesitant to invest in one-person operations. But that mindset is starting to change. Investors are realizing the potential of individual innovators.
So there's hope for the solopreneur seeking funding. But what makes a one-person business stand out to those investors?
It comes down to a few things: having a clear, compelling vision, a solid business plan, and a track record that shows you can get things done. Solopreneurs have to be able to articulate their value, demonstrate that there's a demand for what they're offering, and prove they can deliver results.
So it's about showcasing that entrepreneurial hustle, showing them that even as a solo act, you can achieve significant growth.
Exactly. And as the whole investment world evolves, we're going to see more funding opportunities specifically designed to support solopreneurs and those early stage startups.
That's encouraging. So we've talked about the challenges, but let's flip the script for a minute. What are some of the exciting opportunities waiting for these one-person tech businesses? What makes this such a dynamic and promising area to be in?
Oh, the opportunities are huge. I think one of the most exciting things is the potential impact. With the right idea, the right tools, and a whole lot of passion, a single person can create something truly amazing, something that can change the world.
That's so inspiring. It really feels like the power of innovation is becoming more accessible. It's not just about those big corporations anymore. Individuals can make a real difference.
Absolutely. And beyond that potential global impact, there's also the opportunity for personal fulfillment. Solopreneurship lets people align their work with their values, their passions, even their desired lifestyle. It's about creating a career, a life that feels meaningful and authentic.
So it's more than just building a business. It's about building a life you love. A life that lets you be creative, pursue your passions, and make a real contribution.
You got it. And as we wrap up our deep dive, I think that's a really powerful point. The future of tech, it's being shaped by individuals who are embracing that entrepreneurial spirit, using the power of AI, and creating solutions that benefit everyone, themselves, and society as a whole.
It's a future brimming with possibilities. It's exciting to see how these solopreneurs will continue to lead the way. And for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to start their own solo tech journey, remember a few things. Embrace learning. Constantly build a strong network and never forget that human element. That's what drives innovation and success. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve in this ever-changing world of AI and tech, definitely check out IdeaData. You'll be joining thousands of professionals just like you from leading companies, all learning and growing together. The link is in the show notes. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and until next time, keep innovating, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.